Vaseline hands. Hi guys, welcome back. Today we're doing Siege and Storm. So when we last left off for Shadow and Bone, Alina and Mal just escaped the Darkling and they're gonna go run away and hopefully hide from him. So let's get into Siege and Storm. So Alina and Mal are staying in Novi Zem and it's peaceful, but oh wait, no, the Darkling's here. He tracked them down. And he has a hot new scar on the side of his face. He also has a new power, Skinwalker summoning. They're not really Skinwalkers, they just kind of look like them. Anyway, they attack Alina, and she gets a nasty bite in her shoulder, and they get taken hostage. So right off the bat, Mal and Alina are dragged aboard a ship in the Darkling's power. Yeah, that's really nice. Also note, the Skinwalkers are called Nishovea. While they're on the ship, they meet Sturmhond. He's the Lucian/Shade/Michael of the story. Witty, annoying, and fox-like. And they're also in the middle of the ocean because they're trying to find Rusalai, aka a sea dragon, aka a sea whip, aka Morozova pet number 2, aka another amplifier. So Mal needs to track it down for Alina, otherwise they'll die. But also because normal amplifier rules don't apply to Morozova's animals, the rules being that only one amplifier per Grisha. And then they do find Rusalai and they injure him, but then Sturmhond's crew, prominently 2 heart trenders named Toli and Tamar, they turn into furries and try to drive the Darkling off the ship. Okay, by furries I mean figuratively. Apparently their war chant is just a bunch of barking. They just bark. So right now it seems like Sturmhond is a good guy, right? He saved Mal and Alina, but no. He's a bounty hunter and he's going to take them and sell them to the person who paid for their passage. So Sturmhond is really a red flag. Recap time. So Morozova was sunk to Ilya, so he sunk to Ilya Morozova, and he had 3 pets. The stag, Morozova's stag that is dead and is currently around Alina's neck as an amplifier, Rusalai, the sea whip, which was just killed and fitted into a bracelet, and the firebird, which they're going to track down and use as a 3rd amplifier. Get it? Got it? Good. So, Mal and Alina promptly begin to fight again because Alina wants to catch them all, but Mal's like, you don't need to do that. And to be fair, Alina kind of does, because the Darkling has shown that he can command the Nishovea, and he's extremely powerful, so they need something powerful to combat him. And then, after that, Sturmhond reveals that he's going to take them through the fold on the world's first Grisha-powered airplane. But, like, through the fold. An airplane is cool and all, but through the fold. They're not going to do it very well, are they? But, luckily for them, Sturmhond also has machine guns and a grenade. So, as you can see, the Grisha world is modernizing, which is exactly why the Darkling is attacking and trying to take power, because he doesn't want the age of Grisha power to end, because it is, in the face of automatic weapons. While they're on the ship and the flying ship, and Sturmhond is directing it through the fold, Alina is the only one keeping the Volcra back, using her sun powers, and then the Darkling appears on the ship beside her. He's not actually there, it's just a vision, but it really scares her. So the light recedes, they get attacked, but they get out of the fold in time, thankfully, and they crash into a lake. When they get out of the lake, they are apprehended by Ravka's army, the non-Grisha one, full of people. And then Sturmhond steps forward, and with the most dramatic reveal of the 20th century, he pulls up and he's like, yo, what's up? I'm not actually Sturmhond. My name is... Hang on. It's really long. My name is Nikolai Lantsov, Major of the 22nd Regiment, Soldier of the King's Army, Grand Duke of Udova, and second son to His Most Royal Majesty King Alexander III, ruler of the Double Eagle Throne. May his life and reign be long. That's a really long title. So, the moment that that's revealed, Alina gets so pissed, she punches him in the face. So that's really funny. I'm actually going to read a bit of that. So Mal and Alina are talking. You just punched a prince, Alina. I guess we can add one more act of treason to our list. I shook out my sore hand. My knuckles smarted. First of all, are we so sure he actually is a prince? And second, you're just jealous. Of course I'm jealous. I thought I was going to get to punch him. That isn't the point. Oh my god, I love Alina. Anyway, Nikolai Lantsov wants to rally Ravka using Alina. So Nikolai and Alina go on this victory tour around the 12 districts of Panem, rallying their people. Sound familiar? Yeah. I'm making a Hunger Games reference. Haha. So while they're on their victory tour, they run into a couple of Grisha defectors who want to join Alina, the Sun Summoner. As you can see, Alina's fan base is growing, as well as peasants who are joining the Sun cult, Alina's cult, led by the Aparat, the crazy priest. They head back to the royal palace and meet the first prince, Vaseline Lantsov. His name is actually Vasily, but it just sounds like Vaseline. So Vaseline Lantsov, as well as the king and the queen. The king decrees that Alina should become general of the remaining Grisha forces, and he dishonorably discharges Mal, which kind of pisses Alina off. So she's kind of mad right now, and then she goes to meet the Grisha forces. And guess what? They don't really agree with her. They're like, okay, we understand that there should be someone leading the Grisha army, but we don't want it to be you, because we're picky. The corporal Nicks don't support her. The ethereal Nicks, some of them support her, most of them don't. And the materialki just aren't there for this. And then out of nowhere, Zoya, Miss Bully, Miss I Hate You, Alina Starkov, and I'm in love with your childhood crush, Zoya Nalensky. She just goes, I support Alina. Yup, do I sense a redemption arc? But Alina is still pissed, so she summons this super powerful part of her. It's called the Cut, and it's literally a cut. It can cut through anything. The Darkling once used it to cut through a Fjordan man. So she directs it towards Sergei, who's a corporalnik who is currently opposing against her. And while she's like ready to cut him open to make an example, and her consciousness goes, no. So she redirects it towards his sailing, brings it down. Right. And then at this point, most of her opposition is dead. Like, most of her opposition's opposing us? They're not actually dead, but they're like not against her anymore. And she's properly jarred because she just tried to kill someone and she saw the Darkling in her room right after that. Scary. Again, a vision, not the real Darkling. And I'm going to take a break because I'm starting to stutter. And I'm back with some hot water this time because my throat, yeah. There we go. Anyway, so Alina's council, she has decided to create one, and she's going to use 2 Grisha from each order. So 2 corporal Nicks, 2 ethereal Nicks, and 2 materialkis. Material Nicks. And no one's happy about breaking tradition, but Alina just doesn't care. She says, and I quote, no more corporalki snobbery, no more etherealki clicks, and no more herring. No more fish, as she says. After her declaration, she meets up with Bagra, and it's actually really sad, because as punishment for Bagra helping her, the Darkling used his shadows to obscure Bagra's eyes, so she can no longer see. The Darkling took his own mother's eyes. Well, after that, Bagra gives Alina some wisdom. She tells her that the more power Alina gets, the more corrupted Alina will become. And we're already starting to see it. Remember when she almost killed Sergei with like the kite and how she redirected it to her roof? Well, might be a person soon. Alina also asks David, a materialki, about Ilya Morozova, and he talks about this thing called Murzost. So in like the world of Harry Potter, there's dark magic, which is really bad because it kind of distorted Voldemort's face. I think that's what it did. Well, Murzost is like that. Instead of pulling on natural Grisha abilities, like if you use your abilities as a Grisha, you'll become hotter and more glowy. But the thing is, for Murzost, it doesn't draw on your natural Grisha reserves. It draws on yourself and your soul. So that's what the Nichovea are made of, Murzost. So every single time the Darkling draws on them, he's essentially breaking himself apart. Slowly breaking down. Alina, apart from dealing with trying to figure out how to defeat the Darkling, she also gets a marriage proposal from Vaseline, which she obviously turned down because her heart belongs to Mal. And after a slip of judgment after training, Mal persuades her to go to a party with him. Stupid decisions? Yeah. Well, at the party, a fight breaks out, and she gets squirreled away, and she also gets apprehended by the crazy priest we were talking about, the Apparat. He has started a sun cult, and he wants her to join them and lead. Obviously, Alina's like, no thanks. Tamar eventually finds them, and the Apparat, the priest, flees, and she goes back. And she goes back with her mind full of sun stuff and being Sol Karolova. Back in the palace, we are served a healthy dose of miscommunication as Mal tries to kiss her, and Alina's like, oh yes, I would love to be kissed. And then she sees the Darkling behind Mal, and she freezes up and she goes like, and Mal's like, so you don't want to kiss me? That's what it is? And Alina's, no, it's not like that. It's just... And Mal's like, okay, goodbye. I've had enough of this. Miscommunication. Oh my god, it's breaking this up. They fight way too much at this point. So Mal is mad, Alina is sad, and the Darkling scores a point. I would like to note that at this point in the storyline, Alina has kissed Mal. Alina has kissed the Darkling. And Alina has also kissed Nikolai Lantsov. She's kissing a lot of people. Then she sees Mal kiss Zoya, and her first thought is, oh my god, I'm gonna go find Nikolai and get him to kiss me now to make it even. This girl is messy. So Alina's high-strung and heartbreak. So she decides to go outside the castle walls, meet up with the pilgrims, and do some body surfing. Obviously, it doesn't work out well. The pilgrims start tearing her apart, and she gets rescued by her bodyguards, Tolia and Tamar. Heart trenders. But then, even though she almost gets torn apart, at least she learns something. She learns that they are calling her the daughter of Da Stolba. Dva Stolba. I can't pronounce these things. Which is a town. So she thinks, oh, that's probably where the Firebird is. So they make plans, and Mal decides to go there for the Firebird while Alina chills at Nikolai's birthday dinner. At the birthday dinner, while the candles are being blown, Vaseline shows off and he's like, yo, what's up, guys? Guess what? I'm so brilliant. I'm much better choice for the throne than my brother because I just closed down some shady deal with the Feridans and they're on our side now. And Nikolai's like, what was exactly the parts of that deal? And Vaseline's like, well, I opened up a few roads, opened up a few trade routes, and Nikolai's like, those trade routes were the only thing keeping the Darkling from this palace. He is on his way now. This is your fault, kid. And Vaseline's like, no, it's not my fault. It's definitely yours. Yours and Alina's, that witch. You two are like conspiring and you're like fear-mongering. And then, so Nikolai lays on Vasily for that, and sure enough, a few moments later, the warning bells go off. The Darkling is here. The dining hall is being stormed. The Grisha palace is getting attacked by the Nishovea. Nikolai manages to get his parents out of there in time, but Vaseline gets killed by a Nishovea. So Alina manages to get to the Grisha, and there's a lot of casualties. But they get together and they run to this chapel where they get cornered by the Darkling. And the Darkling comes forward and he's like, Alina, I do not want this. I do not want to kill this many Grisha. Join me. We will rebuild the world together, piece by piece. And he brings forward Genya. And remember, so previously, Genya had helped Alina get off the ship that they were getting trapped on. So as punishment for that, the Darkling mutilated Genya's face, and she's in pain. So Genya gets taken onto their side, and Alina makes a choice. She's like, if you let my friends go, I will join you. So the Darkling agrees to that. Alina goes forward and she kisses the Darkling, which is kind of out of place. Because the Darkling has threatened to kill her so many times in this book. And she's just like, okay, I join you. And he's like, okay, great. I'm not actually going to kill you. I'm going to like kiss you. So while they're kissing, she realizes something inside her. I love how every single time she gets away from the Darkling, it's right after she has an epiphany. So she's like, he planted a piece of his darkness in me. He's been using that to show me these visions, to control me. Well, I can use it too. So she reaches inside of her through that bond between the two of them. She plucks on it. Not plucks, she like reaches into it and controls it. And she starts summoning more and more Nishovea. This time, she's pulling out of his power and her own. So they're both slowly dying, crumbling to like pieces because of the Murzost. So she's doing this because she's trying to kill him and in the process herself. But at the last moment, before both of them die, Mal pulls her back. So no more super sacrifice Alina. And the book ends with Mal and Alina fleeing the Darkling. Again. Okay, thank you. And that's Siege and Storm. And I also have Ruin and Rising right here for like aesthetic placement. I'm going to do this probably if you see this video. Thank you for watching. It means a lot to me. If you guys could like the video, subscribe so I could keep doing these. And also tell me what books to do after Ruin and Rising, because I also have like Victoria Aveyard's Red Queen and a bunch of books on my bookshelf. I can do like a short.
Hey, just say I'm your fan.
Okay, bye. Mwah.